fragmentation is a problem in the space in performance marketing in really two competing ways. The first is that consumers are not really participating in single channels and in single parts of what we would have called the marketing funnel in the past. They're discovering products newly, they're considering those products, and they're choosing a place to buy quite fluidly across channels. And that means the performance stack needs to be redesigned around those behaviors. And so if you shift to the operational focus, a big challenge with organizations is they're not really built to think beyond channels and the silos of different tactics that might live in them. So the future of performance marketing is really tied to following the consumer and then modifying the organizational behaviors so that they're more adept at following the consumer and treating them the way they want to be treated.
Criteo seems to be moving towards a more self-service model. What can you share about where you're investing on the product side?
Oh, that's an exciting part of our investment. So the centerpiece of it is what we call Commerce Go. Over the past year, we've been developing a single workflow product that spans planning, activation, and optimization measurement in a single workflow, to my earlier point. That's an AI augmented setup. It's not AI by itself. It affords control to our buyers, but it also does all of the tedious work of setting up a campaign, activating it, and counting your results. Whether you're reaching incremental audiences, independent of channel, or whether you're selling more products incrementally, that's happening automatically. So it's a really exciting time for us. What we've done is we've started that product internally, using it in our managed services business, and we're about 5,000 campaigns into it now. And what we're seeing across the board is green lights. So it's more organic spend, it's higher return on advertising spend, it's more products sold. It's customers who love us more, which really, as a product person, makes me feel great.
Yeah. Now, creative is often the slowest part of the process. How are generative tools changing the speed and style of campaign production?
Well, it's interesting. Creative is probably, or it's arguably, the biggest pain point and probably the biggest time sink of that consolidated workflow that we were just talking about. What AI is doing is really changing that for the better. So whether it's image to video or whether it's text to image, AI in the Commerce Go context is doing all the heavy lifting for a brand, creating dynamic creatives and then trafficking them while they're maintaining kind of respect to the brand standards and the voice that originally is set up. So what AI is doing is it's taking the pain out of that creative process, which in the past would have taken weeks, days, weeks, sometimes even longer with approvals, and making it possible to do that work in minutes and not think about, do my creatives that are being generated by AI comply with my brand principles?
So talk about Criteo's model context protocol. What is that? And tell me how it's transforming, how transformative it is.
Model context protocol is a standard. It's by itself not transformative, but it is a standard for agents to talk to APIs. And Criteo has had a very rich history of providing its buy and sell side partners access to our tools through APIs. What we haven't done in the past is we haven't been able to serve agents that are being used by those same partners. So Model Context Protocol is a way for us to expose all the most valuable parts of the workflows that are important to our partners in a way that can be responded to agentically on their side. And that's really important because the teams we work with are all experimenting with where AI can make them more efficient or take these pain points away.
As cross-channel measurement and predictive guidance mature, what sort of decisions will marketers finally be able to make that just weren't possible before?
I mean, really, it's literally decisions being dynamic across the entire workflow are possible today. So it's a sea change. The ability to dynamically reallocate budgets towards a specific outcome has not been something that's possible across different channels, whether CTV, social, or retail. So in our new world, we're able to do that and to make decisions on those data points that are moving between the channels is something that we have a really interesting advantage in doing because we're operating one of the world's largest commerce data sets. So the idea of real-time decision making is tied to large commerce data, and that means that these things are happening, when I say dynamically, they are happening during the campaign runtime. They're not recursive, or they're not a look-back window. You're not looking at measurement and then saying, well, I better go optimize my creative or change my campaign setup. So it's a totally different landscape.